Hello, Music World. This is your boy Marcus Marshall again from MEC Productions and iTracks Music Group. I wanted to take a moment to actually do another tutorial on Studio One, and this time it's actually using the MPC Studio or the MPC Renaissance. In this tutorial, I'm going to go through how to set up the actual transport control to control Studio One, and also to actually interact more in a better workflow using the actual MPC plugin within Studio One. So let's go ahead and dig right into it. Alright, so I have my MPC Renaissance actually connected via USB directly to my computer. And Studio One is already up, ready to go. I have all my drivers installed for my Renaissance. The computer sees it and it's happy. So the first thing we actually need to do is we need to set up the MPC in Studio One as an instrument. Right here, this box here, if you drop down this is the edit device window. So if I hit add device, I'm going to see this actual window show up. Clicking on new keyboard, because I want to make a new keyboard, I'm going to call this MPC Public, or MPC Ren Public. Because I also have a studio, so if I plug up my studio, I want to be able to differentiate between the two. I want to make sure all my MIDI channels are selected on, and then receive from, I want to select MPC Renaissance MPC Public. Also for the Send To, I want to do MPC Renaissance MPC Public. You do see the other ports, and I don't want you to get confused. Those ports, port 1 through 4 for the Send To, and also in the Receive, you have ports ports 1 and 2 for the MPC. Those deal with the physical ins and outputs, MIDI ins and outputs, the 5-pin DIN connectors on the MPC. So the MPC Public kind of serves as like an internal MIDI command, or however you want to define it. But the MPC Public is what's being used internally, so I don't have to plug up any physical cables themselves back and forth to the MPC. So I'm going to go ahead and select MPC Renaissance MPC Public for the Send To. And then I'm going to hit OK. This can also be found if you go to Studio One and you go to Preferences, and then under External Devices, you have to click Add, and it'll bring you back to the same window. But we already have it set up. It's showing up there, so we don't have to set it up at a second place. All right, so now what I want to do, I want to go back to this Edit Device window, and now you actually see my MPC Ren Public show up here. So I'm going to click on MPC Ren Public, and here is my MIDI Edit Learn window. If I click on here on the MPC Ren Public and I select the MIDI Learn, I can go to my MPC Renaissance and choose all the transport buttons, or actually push all the transport buttons. So I'm going to click my record, my overdub, my stop, play from start, event return left, and event return right. As you can see, as I was pressing buttons, these actually show up here as knobs, which is incorrect. We don't actually want knobs, we want buttons. So if you right click on here, and we can change it from knob to either fader, button, button on and off, or button press release, transmit value, remove, or remove all. I want to actually select button push / release, and I'm going to change all these to the button press release because they're all buttons that we're changing. All right, down to my last one. All right, so down here at the bottom of each button, it shows you the MIDI CC message. That's just important if you want to remember what messages your controllers are actually controlling. That might be useful for some other software or any other type of MIDI things you want to do. I'm going to right click on a button and I'm going to hit Assign Command. So this is my first button here. The guys at Studio One was very grateful and provided a search button in this Select Command window. You can either scroll through and find out what you want. If this is your first time messing around with the MIDI Learn and assigning commands to buttons or knobs, you might want to just scroll through here and look and see what your options are, because there may be some stuff in here that you're not even familiar with that might be useful for you. So I'm just going to go ahead and search. So the first thing I'm going to search is for the first button, which is Record. So if I select Record, I have a couple different options, but I want to go under Transport and click Record. My second button is my Record Overdub. Studio One does not have a Record Overdub button, but it does have a record overdub mode. So that's under here under the record mode. And I'm going to just select record mode overdub. They have a record mode replace, which replaces your takes, but this has to do with the actual takes. I'm not going to get into it right now. You might want to refer back to your manual, but I'm just deciding to assign my record overdub button to the record overdub mode in Studio One. The third button is the stop button. So I'm going to search stop, and under transport you have stop. So I'm going to select stop. The next button is play. And actually the next two buttons I'm going to select the same thing, because under transport there's only one option for play, which is play from loop start. So I'm going to assign both of those to the play from loop stop. So I'm going to search play from loop start, and hit OK. These next buttons are the event buttons. So I'm going to assign it to what's called a bar, a forward bar and a rewind bar. So my right event button, I'm going to put rewind bar, and my left event button, I'm going to select for rewind, and the right button, I'm going to select for forward bar. And I'll show you what this does in a moment. All right, so now I have everything assigned, and if I scroll out here, I can now press my buttons, and as you can see, I don't have any MPC plugin actually loaded up in Studio One. Hence why your actual screen just says MPC, but while it's in this mode, it's still transmitting MIDI data. So now I'm going to go ahead and hit play, and as you can see, it actually plays Studio One. I can hit stop one more time, and it returns it to 0. Hit play start, same thing. It'll play from start. It'll keep jumping back to play from start. I'm gonna hit stop, and if I hit the record button, it'll actually kick into record in Studio One. So I'm going to stop that. So that's all my actual transport features here. And if we look at the event buttons, the event bar, what it does, if you look at my playhead here, it's actually jumping by bars. So this can be really, really useful for for certain things. I like using it to just jump between my different bars when I'm working on a composition or whatever. It's there. So if you have it, it's there for you to use. Here's my actual MPC plugin. All right, so the first thing that you want to be familiar with is this button right here. If you select this button, this is kind of like a drop down, which is equivalent to the top drop down menus at the top if you were to open up the Studio One, I'm sorry, not the Studio One, the MPC software in standalone mode. Under edit, we want to select preferences. This is an area you're going to be in a lot. So I'm going to select preferences, and your preference windows pop up, and you have a few different tabs. You have MIDI, plugins, auto load, sequence, and other. This other menu is what we're going to be focusing on here. And we're going to focus on right here where it says hardware transport C, or hardware transport control. That's what the C stands for. You have two different options. You have DAW and you have plugin. Right now we're going to stay in the DAW mode, and I'm going to show you what that does in relation to the plugin when you're working in DAW mode for the hardware transport control. I'm going to hit OK. And right now I'm just going to zoom in so you can see both the transport for Studio One and the transport for the MPC software. And also here in the edit windows, both for the MPC and for Studio One. I just want you to kind of keep an eye on that just to see what the playhead is doing as I'm pressing the transport buttons on the actual hardware itself. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play, and right now we're in DAW mode, so if I hit play, it's going to actually trigger off both the MPC and Studio One at the same time, bar for bar. We're going to go ahead and hit stop, and I'm going to jump back. The next thing I'm going to do is actually kick it into record mode. So once I hit record, as you can see, it hits record in Studio One, but not in the plugin. This can be useful for if you don't have a separate controller that has a transport. You want to use transport within your inside the Studio One, and have stop, record, play, whatever. I'm gonna hit stop now. Next thing I want to do, I want to now actually change this to plugin mode, And if we go here and edit and preferences, we go to other and we hit plugin and hit OK. Now let's kind of check out these two transport areas. So once I hit play, same thing. It triggers off both the Studio One and the MPC software. If I hit record, it actually puts the MPC into a record standby mode as if you're using the MPC in a standalone mode. Once you hit play, now you see both Studio One and the MPC start to record, but only the MPC is recording and it's not recording in Studio One. So this is great for when you're actually programming your drums and programming your instruments within the MPC and you just want the MPC to record and not your Studio One, but your transport is still available regarding stop and play. And that's in plugin mode, so you have to actually change that within the MPC plugin itself. So I'm just show you one more time. Here, you go to Edit, Preferences, and then under Preferences, you want to go to the Other tab, and Hardware Transport C, either DAW to control the transport in just Studio One, and then the DAW mode, the plugin mode is to record in your MPC software itself. So this is great for a lot of different reasons. So there you have it. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message, email me. I'll try to get back as soon as I can. I hope this is really, really helpful and useful to someone. If you have any other questions, like I said, send me a message. You can check out my website at www.mecprosound.com. This is Marcus Marshall again with MEC Productions and iTracks Music Group. Studio One and MPC Transport Control. So share this message, like it, Facebook it, tweet it, social message it, hashtag it, do whatever you need to do to get the video out. Thank you. Bye.